Hey Internet, my name is Abby and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program on Wings. And also welcome to our launch pad where we have our first liftoff for today in 3, 2, 1 and liftoff. Oh, loud. Here we go. Here we go. This thing is a little bit a combination of a little bit like a supply mission and also the science return mission, because up there you might recognize the science return stage where we have our robotic part and where we have our capsule which will bring back the science and return it back to Kerbin. A little bit down here we have a bigger fuel tank. I hope my rocket is powerful enough to propel us into space, so I can refuel my complete station. And I've also added some additional RCS tanks to refuel also the RCS tank of my station. So here, this is mostly what we are launching right now. Additionally, we have some exciting things ahead of us, because if remember, in the last episode we launched up to Joule with a very strange trajectory, because I think of the gravity assist of Minmus we have a trajectory that brings us as high or even higher than the apoapsis of Elu, so we are way out of our solar system, and I hope that we are still able to establish an orbit around Joule without losing too much fuel or without having too much trouble or anything like this. So yes, this is one thing. Additionally, we have also launched our mission to Duna, and yes, we have two missions going on, aiming for different celestial bodies, or better, aiming for different planets. And so here, this is going on, and as we remember, the Duna mission has the main issue that there's no antenna on board, so they are pretty much well, how should I say, the travel until they reach to Duna is pretty useless, because they can't provide us with any useful information. This is really sad. But on the other hand, we have our Joule mission, and I hope we can do some science with our Joule mission, but I will come back to this later on. Right now we have done our launch. We are aiming hopefully for space, and I hope the thing will hopefully reach space. So I will bring you back in when we do the actually docking and the actual rendezvous with our station. Until then, stay tuned. Okay, we are in orbit and we are approaching our station. As you can see over there, we are only 1 kilometer away from it. So I need to make sure that I kill almost everything of my lateral velocity, so I'm not floating away from my station, or I float past by it. And over there, that's why I brought you in very early and not just imminent before the docking. You can see Science Station Ship Probe. I was thinking about this. At first I was a little bit confused, what the hell is this? And then I remembered that as I launched my Joule mission, the Joule mission had upper stage from the launch stage. As I launched my drive section for the Kerbin departure stage, and I think this is the upper stage. I can remember as I aimed for Joule that I disconnected from it and that it was floating away from me, but I've totally forgot to deorbit it. So it's still floating around and it's still orbiting in the same plane as my science station, and it's waiting for us, or it's waiting for me to deorbit it. So yeah, we have something to do as soon as we dock to our station, because then we have to deorbit this upper stage from our launch stage, as we launched the drive section up into space and to the science station. And yeah, this is pretty interesting. I totally forgot that I need to deorbit this thing. And so yeah, we have another mission, or we have to do a little bit space housekeeping, as you might call it, because, well, we don't want to have too much space debris up in Kerbin orbit or anywhere in our Kerbal Space Program because we want to make sure that the universe stays clean and tidy and whatnot. So yeah, this is our main goal. But now we are coming closer to our station, only 60 meters away from it. So let's do a very, very slowly burn so we can come as close as possible to it. Only 1 meter per second. 0.321, and let's come to a stop. Very good, we are almost well aligned with this docking port, so let's set it as a target, and as usual switch over to the docking control. Let's rotate the whole thing around. I hope I have a lot of fuel in my science return and supply ship, so I hope that this thing has enough fuel to refuel the whole station. And yeah, we don't need to launch a separate supply mission, and we just can focus on doing other things like doing science or like doing other launches or experiments or whatnot. So yeah, that's why I've assembled this improved science return mission, which is at the same time also a supply mission. Okay, now we are almost aligned with the docking port. Let's kill again all of our lateral velocity. Like this. And... or not lateral velocity, relative velocity, what I'm talking about. Holy cow. Okay, let's aim for the... oh, we are pretty close already. Haven't expected this. Okay, so only a few meters until we achieved our docking. The rendezvous is already finished. Now let's... somehow the station seems to be a little bit wonky. Or it's just... well, okay. And contact, very good. Let's... docking confirmed. No, it's well aligned with the... so... with the North Pole, or with the northern point of my nav ball. Okay, so what do we have? We have our completely empty RCS tank. Let's bring all this RCS over there, and I think this takes some time. Come on, speed up things. I have more than enough RCS on this capsule, so I think it's a little bit overpowered, but I want to keep it balanced. That's why I added also the how they are called, cylindrified monopropellant fuel tanks. Let's fill the thing up. Okay, 100%, very nice. And yes, now it's also the big part of refueling the fuel tanks. Then what we need to is, I'm not sure if I'm now doing a right click, will the thing stop? So I think I'll wait a little bit. We have some science up here. Jetmy will bring up into the science return stage as soon as we finish the refueling process. So I'm just doing this. Well, I'm currently not planning, or maybe I will launch another mission to Eve, Dress, whatever. I'm not sure which launch window will come up next. So maybe I have to launch another mission. But I'm not sure if I will dock it and assemble it around the space station, or if I will just assemble it in space without docking to it. So I like just to prepare my science station in the case that I'm returning from Joule or from Duner or whatever, that I have all the resources available up here, and I just can refuel anything if I need to. And that's why I want to refuel everything. And now, as you can see, all the fuel tanks of the station are filled up, and the RCS tank is filled up, so I think everything is in order. Now, Jetmy, it's your turn. Oh, we have sunrise. This is amazing. Take the data. Very good. So we have some data from the moon. Yes. Let go, and let's float over to the return stage. Come on, very slowly. Do it very gently. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And grab. Okay, very good. And let's store the experiments. Very good. And I'm also thinking about maybe I should also launch some kind of emergency capsule. So if any case that here on the station is something going very wrong and I need to rescue Jetmy, then I have a capsule right up there and I don't need to launch anything at first. So maybe this would be useful, but yeah, this would be maybe a thing for an upcoming episode that I have to launch a emergency pod, as you might call it. Okay, we have now some stored data up here. We have refueled everything, so this is very amazing. What's next? The next thing is I wanted to, hopefully I can switch to it. Switch to. We are again very well zoomed out. There it comes. It still has some fuel in it and also some RTS. And it has enough charge. This is good. But it has no solar panels, so I'm glad that I've added this battery bank up here. Okay, let's turn toward the retrograde vector or the retrograde marker on the nav ball. Like here. I'm hoping I'm not hitting the space station when I'm now doing my deorbit burn. Let's try this. Throttle up. And there was my periapsis. Very good. Now we are definitely crashing into the surface. Okay, there's the science station. And we are still very well away from it. More than 1 kilometer. I think this is good enough. Okay, we are now below an kilometer, but yes. Now the distance is increasing, so very good, very good. We are not hitting the science station. If we would have hit the science station, this would be the case for my emergency pod. Let's switch back to the science station. Jetmy is happy. There goes my science station ship probe. A strange name again. Yeah, this is very good. Let's have a check. My dual mission is aiming up for min-miss. So this is good so far. Will I return the thing right now or will I wait a little bit? I think I will just wait a little bit and show you something else I've developed in the meantime, so stay tuned, we will see us back at the Kerbal Space Center. And welcome back to the runway, because I was looking forward to show you this little space plane. It's not space plane, airplane. It's an improvement of my research plane. I've added again the normal experiments to it. And I was looking forward to show you this because I was flying around with the thing over the whole week, and I really had a lot of fun with the thing because it's so great to steer and it makes a lot of fun. So I like just to show you a little bit my new space, or no, I say again, airplane. I really enjoyed it. It's pretty stable. I like the look from it with the two tails and the long wings and the whole shape. Really, I really like the whole shape. So I'm pretty amazed about the space plane, and that's why I like to show you a little bit my little space plane and do crazy things with you while flying here around. And hopefully not crashing into the surface or into any building of my Kerbal Space Center. This would be rather unfortunate. So yeah, I'm pretty amazed by this airplane because it's so stable, it's so nice to fly, and the shape is just great. And so I just wanted to show you my now best loved toy, as I would call it. Because, well, I really like this, and, well, Kerman doesn't seem to like it so much like I do, but it's really great. I have a lot of fun flying around with the thing and doing crazy things like you see over here, like doing very low flights and low altitude or above the Kerbal Space Center, and buzzing the tower and buzzing the VAB and scaring all the scientists down there in the science building and the science contract of our Kerbal Space Center. So yeah, this is pretty amazing, and well, because it's so stable and so good looking, I had so much fun flying around with this thing, and it's also very powerful because I'm not quite sure. I think it's pretty light so far. So that one engine, I'm really looking forward when I have the other engine, the more powerful jet engine. Well, let's throttle way up, and I want to show you what I mean. I can basically do with the thing fly it straight up. As you can see, the prograde vector is directly on top of the nav ball, and I'm even accelerating while I'm going straight up. So this is really crazy how powerful this plane is and what I can do with it, and so I really like this, and it's going up. I haven't tested how high I can climb with it, so I'm not quite sure what's the maximum altitude I can fly with it. I was flying around 14 to 15 kilometers with it, but at this point I was just doing a straight ahead flight, so I tried to cover some distance while I was trying to find something out, and so yeah, this is really cool. We can also do some rolls. Okay, the next thing is I want to bring it back under control a bit, and now turn a bit around because, whoa, not so much, because I want to land on the other runway over there and have a short visit there. I hope the thing is doing what I want to. Somehow it's acting a little bit strange. Why are you acting strange? I'm not quite sure. Okay, so yeah, it's very powerful. I'm not quite sure what's its maximum altitude of operation. As I said, I did some test flights, and I just wanted to cover some distance, and there I was flying at an altitude about 14 to 15 kilometers, and I had still enough of intake air. So I'm not quite sure what is the maximum altitude, and I don't really want to find this out, because if I'm just going straight ahead, then it's not as representative as if I would fly in a normal distance, in a normal flight configuration. So yeah, but I just wanted to show you this good looking thing, and while I'm flying here around, I also want to mention I came up to an idea or a new challenge I want to try out during my interplanetary missions up to Duner and to Joule, that I wanted to build some kind of rover carrier or something like this. Basically the idea is I like to build some kind of lander that is basically just a lot of girders and so on, and it has a docking port and some landing struts, and I can land the thing with maybe like a sky crane or so, and inside this girder construction I have added a rover to the docking port, so I can undock the rover once I'm landed on the surface, drive around, do some science on the surface, and as soon as I'm finished I can drive back under the construction and maybe lower the landing struts, and by lowering it I close the distance between the two docking ports, and then I redock to the rover carrier, and as soon as I'm redocked to the rover carrier I will lift off again and bring my rover to a completely different position or different location, or even leave the celestial body I'm landed on. So this was an idea I really like to try out, and I like to build and to assemble. So I was thinking about this, and I just wanted to show you also maybe some first impressions of it, and if everything is okay and how it works, so the first experiments of it. But then I realized I haven't unlocked any rover wheels currently, and the only wheels I have are the airplane wheels. So I don't think these are really helpful, so I need to unlock some rover wheels, but this is something I really like to keep track of, and I really like to build something and present you the new construction in the near future. So it will basically start to at first testing out if the docking works somehow, like just putting it on the launch pad and undock the rover and hopefully redock it again to the carrier, or maybe doing a short experimental flight and undock it and do another liftoff again. And once everything is in good shape and once I have a good feeling about this, I like to launch the whole construction on a rocket and fly it up to Moon, hopefully, or maybe, because Minmus is a little bit strange with its low gravity and roving around on it. So yeah, this is basically what I really like to do in the meantime until our interplanetary missions arrive at Duner, apart from doing these flights here. So I'm really enjoying these flights. I'm not sure, I remember that I did some science. Have I already done the science with the log temperature? Yes, from Kerbal waters I've done it so far. Also the gravity. Log seismic. No, I haven't done this. Gathered precise acceleration data while subjecting the vessel onto the situation from Kerbal waters. So let's keep the data. And pressure. Have we done this? Yes, we have done this so far. And the gravimax. Log gravity data. The sensor seems to think it's being calibrated. Okay, let's keep this data. So at least we have done 2 science reports. Can we do a crew report? Yes, we can, but it does give us no science. One additional thing I really like is, let's extend our extend our antennas. I really also like the position of my antennas. This is really cool. I like this thing. Okay, so much about this. Let's do another takeoff with this great plane, because as I said, I really like this plane. And come on, here we go again. And we are flying again. Let's throttle a bit down so hey, I said retract the gear. Okay, because with lower throttle you're better in maneuvering. And let's do a steep turn while we are aiming, and now let's throttle back up and climb up to a higher altitude, because we want to fly back home to our Kerbal Space Center. And so yeah, this is my new plane. I really like this, and I'm really looking forward once I have more airplane things. So I'm not quite sure if I will at first focus on the rover wheels to build my new rover transporter. I really like this idea. Well, in the end, a rover doesn't give me too much advantage on the surface of the Moon, because it doesn't matter, or the biomes are so huge that driving around on the surface of Moon is really a long drive. So driving up to a different biome takes too much of our time, so I really don't have a use of it. But on the other hand, I really like to do something like this, to have a rover transporter and to do some experiments on the surface of the Moon. And that's why I really like to build this thing. It's a little bit the same thing as launching a satellite. I mean, currently launching a satellite is really cool, but the same thing as a science or as a space station, you really don't have currently use of a satellite in KSP, because if you see how science is generated, you can't just have a satellite in orbit and it generates some science on a regular basis. This would be really cool if you launch a satellite and maybe every day it adds one additional science point to your account or so, this would be really cool, but as long as it's so static, it really isn't a use of launching a satellite or launching a probe or anything like this. But I really like also to launch a satellite, and so yeah, to do a little bit different things, even though if they are not providing me any additional science. But I just like to launch a satellite maybe, and to do also a rover mission, even if this isn't really providing me with anything. Um, so yeah, random things that come to mind while I'm flying over the surface of Kerbal. Can we do up here some atmospheric while flying over Kerbal's waters? Okay, you ran an atmosphere analysis recording various measurements like temperature, pressure, and atmospheric composition. At least we get some science, this is good. Temperature. No. And what have we used? Yes? No. Log pressure. Still nothing. Okay. So, I like this shape. I like this construction. I can fly all day long. This is just great. Okay, we need to think about doing a landing. Let's try out to land with no throttle from this point on. So this is maybe a new challenge. Maybe I have to throttle up again to be able to land there. But I will try to land on the runway without using any throttle now. I will just do a simulation of a malfunction with my engine. So let's say my engine has currently a malfunction and I need to somehow do a safe landing on the surface, and this is what we are now trying to practice. So we are now flying a little bit parallel to the runway. The basic thing we have is our altitude, because our altitude is our energy. As long as we have altitude, we can gain some speed by lowering the nose and descending. This gives us some speed, and with some speed we can fly over longer distance. But as soon as we run out of altitude, we have a problem. On the other hand, if we are too high when we are approaching the runway, then we might have some problems as well, because we can't bleed off all the energy, and we might overshoot, and so this can be a problem as well. So let's find out if we are able to, or if I estimated well enough my altitude and my velocity and the glide path of my plane. So still currently it's looking good. We are aiming for the runway, but we are pretty slow, so I hope we won't have any stall. So yeah, we have at least reached the threshold. Let's flare up the nose and come on. A little bit rough landing, but it was a landing, and I managed to do a landing without my engine running, or well, the engine was running, but without any throttled up. And so yeah, this was good training for an emergency course. Saunders, you did an awesome job. You completed your mission of bringing back some science and doing an emergency training very well. So good job, Saunders. Good job. Yeah, I think while I'm taxiing back home, this wraps up my episode for today. Although we haven't done anything with our interplanetary missions, I hope you still enjoyed to watch me refueling the science station and bringing up some science up into the science return stage, and also doing some interesting flights and interesting emergency maneuvers with my airplane. So yeah, I hope you liked everything so far. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, wait. Shut down engine. We want to recover our vessel, and wait, can we do some review data? Oh, we have done, no, not keep data. What haven't I? Log pressure. Can we get something here? No. Okay. Okay, I want to just recover my vessel, so we get some science. At least 12 science or so. Oh, 14.3 science. We have atmosphere analysis while flying over Kerbal's waters, 2.3 science. Seismic scan from Kerbal's water, 6 science. Gravity scan from Kerbal's water, 6 science. And recovery of a vessel that survived a flight. Oh, this is bad. That survived a flight. Have any of my planes haven't survived a flight? Okay, 14.3 science at least, so very nice. Okay, now it wraps up the current episode, so thank you so much for watching again. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and comment on it, and I hope I see you again when we continue with Kerbal Space Program on Wings. Until next time, my name is Abby. See you!